In 2013, an 18-year-old girl logged on to a free ancestry website, just out of curiosity. A simple DNA test. What she discovered next would shatter her world, shake a nation, and reopen a case the police had quietly buried almost 2 decades earlier. She wasn't who she thought she was. She was the missing baby, stolen from a hospital nursery in 1998, just hours after birth. This is the unbelievable story of Kamiyah Mobley, the baby who vanished without a trace, and the woman who raised her, as if nothing ever happened. It was July 10, 1998, at University Medical Center in Jacksonville, Florida. The maternity ward was quiet, just like any other hospital floor, filled with exhausted mothers and newborn cries. Inside one of the rooms, 16-year-old Kamiyah Mobley had just given birth to her first child, a beautiful baby girl she named Kamiyah. She was scared, young, alone, but hopeful. Holding her newborn in her arms, she began to imagine the life they might share. Late-night feedings, first birthdays, laughter and lullabies. But while she dreamed, someone else was watching. A woman, dressed in white scrubs, had been lingering around the ward for hours. She looked like hospital staff, clipboard in hand, soft-spoken, gentle. But no one had checked her badge closely. She was not a nurse. She was not part of the hospital team. She was there for something else. She was there for Kamiyah. Just 8 hours after birth, the woman approached Kamiyah, smiling. She said the baby needed some routine tests. Blood work, standard checkup. It was normal, right? Hospitals do that all the time. Kamiyah handed Kamiyah over. It was the last time she would see her daughter for the next 18 years. By the time nurses realized something was wrong, it was too late. There was no trace of the woman or the baby, no security footage, no witnesses, just an empty crib and a mother screaming for help. Panic erupted. The FBI, local police, and hospital security launched a full-scale manhunt. An Amber Alert was issued. News reports spread nationwide. Composite sketches were made. Tips poured in, but every lead led nowhere. The kidnapper had vanished like a ghost. Days turned to weeks, weeks into months. The media moved on, and slowly, the world assumed the worst. Kamiyah Mobley was gone forever. But Kamiyah Mobley never stopped hoping. Every birthday, every news story about a missing child, she wondered. Was Kamiyah alive? Was she being hurt? Did she even know she was stolen? Meanwhile, 400 miles away, in South Carolina, a girl named Alexis Manigo was growing up. She had a loving mother, a stable home, family dinners, church on Sundays, birthday parties, and warm hugs. She had no idea the woman raising her, Gloria Williams, was not her biological mother. In fact, she had no idea she had been kidnapped. Everything changed in 2013, when Alexis turned 18 and applied for her first job. She needed a birth certificate. Gloria hesitated, made excuses, couldn't find the paperwork. Something felt off. So Alexis did what thousands of teens do. She took a DNA test through an ancestry website, just to see where she came from. She expected a normal result, maybe some long-lost cousins, some heritage facts, but the match she got was not Gloria. It was Kamiyah Mobley, the woman whose baby had been stolen in 1998. Alexis was Kamiyah Mobley. Authorities were contacted immediately. In January 2017, nearly 2 decades after the kidnapping, police arrested Gloria Williams. The woman who had lovingly raised Kamiyah as her own had, in fact, kidnapped her from a hospital nursery just hours after suffering a miscarriage. Desperate, broken, grieving, she had driven to Jacksonville, posed as a nurse, and walked out with another woman's child. For 18 years, she lived a lie. But to Kamiyah, she was still mom. The arrest made headlines across the country. Cameras swarmed the courtroom. Public opinion was split. Some saw Gloria as a cold, calculating kidnapper. Others saw a broken woman who had made an unforgivable choice, but had still raised Kamiyah with love. In 2018, Gloria Williams was sentenced to 18 years in prison, 1 year for every year Kamiyah was missing. But in a twist that shocked many, Kamiyah sat behind Gloria in court, supporting her through the entire trial. She didn't excuse what Gloria did, but she also didn't abandon her. She raised me with everything I needed, Kamiyah said. I will always love her. Kamiyah's story stunned the world, not just because of the crime, but because of the complicated, emotional truth that followed. She met her biological parents, built a relationship with them, but she also continued to stay in contact with Gloria, visiting her in prison, even calling her mom. This wasn't just a case of a baby being found. It was a story about identity, trauma, and the blurred lines between right and wrong. Today, Kamiyah Mobley lives with 2 names and 2 lives. One born in a hospital, one raised in the shadows. She is the child of 2 mothers, one by birth, one by deception. Her life is a constant balancing act between love and betrayal, truth and loyalty. But through it all, Kamiyah never stopped loving the woman who stole her, even as she builds a new life based on the truth. A DNA test didn't just uncover a missing person. It exposed a truth no one was ready for, and asked a chilling question. What if the person you trust most is the one who stole your entire life? Follow this channel for more true crime stories that dig deeper into the cases the world tried to forget.